The spring equinox, you've heard that it's about balance. It's about renewal. It's about a fresh start, all these things. Because, right, just like what's going on in the earth is going on within us, just like what's going on in the cosmos is going on with us, because we are of the cosmos. We are of the planet Earth. We are a part of her. So what happens to her happens to us. This is my belief anyway. This is what I talk about on this channel. And the goddess, the spring goddess, some pagans or witches refer to her as Ostara, or maybe they just celebrate Hecate. But for me, it's Brigid. Brigid is a Celtic goddess and the bringer of spring, the bringer of life. To me, she is Mother Earth. And this is what she brings, and how she works, how the earth works, is transformation through transmuting pain, trauma, difficult situations, hard things we go through in our life, and transmitting that darkness, that pain, into power, into light. Just like the spring equinox goes from darkness, the balance, spring equinox, and then it transmutes that darkness into light for the rest of the time until the summer solstice. So we are going into the light. How this affects our lives is by turning our pain, our trauma, into power. And that is what is so beautiful about this time of year. Years ago, before my spiritual awakening, right before my spiritual awakening, actually, this is kind of the catalyst that brought me into my spiritual awakening. But I had a really, really terrible year. It was the last 6 months that were just full of not awesome surprises. I had a stalker who broke into my house, and that took my safety away. I was petrified. I had to live with other people, and it brought up other trauma from my early 20s. When I was in the Marine Corps, I went through military sexual trauma, and it brought all of that up to the surface. Like, why does this keep happening to me? I'm not safe on this planet, and now my child's not safe, and maybe he would be safer if I wasn't here. And so then that turned my thoughts into suicidal thoughts, which was not new for me, but it brought it in full force until, I hate to say this, but it led to an attempt. And I'm sorry if that's triggering for people. I know that it's a hard topic, and but it is part of my experience, and it led me into a hospital, into rehabs, and around the same time, I broke up with a man I thought I was going to marry. We were starting to build a life together, but I could tell he was going one way, and I wasn't sure what my path was. But I knew it wasn't the direction he was going. And it was not bad, it was just wasn't for me. And I knew that. At the time I was Christian, but I knew my faith was, I was having difficulty with my faith, and I knew I couldn't be the Christian wife that he wanted. And then my mom was dying of ovarian cancer, and she did pass of this excruciating pain. And watching somebody you love just wither away like that, it was a very difficult time in my life. So all these things happened right around the same. It was just boom, 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 boom. And I needed something to change in my life when I was coming out of it. I needed something. I didn't know what it was. My one coping mechanism at the time was drinking, and it still took me years to beat that, but I knew something had to change. So what did I do? I took all that pain, all that suffering, all that trauma, and I reached out to the community that started it all, which was the veteran community, and I started doing content that was focused on veteran issues, and that, of course, turned into comedy. I say, of course, because if you know a vet, we make fun of a lot of stuff, and we try not to take things too seriously because we've all been through a certain amount of trauma. And of course, different trauma comes from the military. But I took that stuff that made me want to not be on planet Earth anymore, and I turned it into something that was productive, that was beautiful in a way, and that was fun, and that brought me joy. And then of course my spiritual awakening happened, and it didn't go well with my spiritual awakening. I had to disappear from that scene. Why I tell you this story now in particular is because the spring equinox has the power to do that to your pain, to turn it into power. And of course, it takes action. And right now, during the spring equinox, if you're feeling like you can't go on because of something that has happened in your life, how can you transmute it? And when I started, I didn't have an end game. I didn't have a goal. It was about the process. The process is what helped me through it. Yes, I got millions of views doing this, and I got all kinds of jobs for acting and modeling, and I was doing interviews, and I was doing public speaking, and this whole world in the vet community opened up to me. And where I had thought of, whenever I thought about my service, it just had this shadow over it. And then it turned out that there was a lot of people who were suffering like me. And I told them it was okay. And I told them, you too can come out of it. And that was so healing for me, to heal others, the wounded healer. And maybe that's you right now. Be the wounded healer. You don't have to fully be healed in order to heal others. People are waiting to hear your story. People are waiting for you to help them. You never know who's listening. So with the magic of the spring equinox right now, take a step towards turning your pain into power. Enjoy the process, because the process is what brings healing. I hope this helped. Wherever you are, peace to you.